Hi, you guys. I hope everybody's fine. Today we're gonna be watching TikTok videos about groceries and how expensive nowadays are. Hope everybody's fine. Let's see what's going on. Let's scroll down.
Got off the phone with my cousin. We talk once a week, maybe twice a week, a couple hours. And she's a manager in the grocery store sector, right? She's been doing it a long time. And what she's telling me is that I'm trying to let you guys know because people are acting delulu. They don't want to know, or they're not listening, or some people, I don't know, but she's saying how they're running out of certain things. Milk, I believe she said cucumbers. She said by noon these things are gone. Bell peppers, that they're not getting in. Their trucks are coming in half full. That's just enough for me. And she's like, even people that work at the store with her, and she's like, you guys better be stocking up. And they're like, oh, it's gonna be okay, or they just don't want to know. And they're there working, seeing the same thing she's seeing. And it was just interesting to me, so I'm sharing that with you guys. It's one thing that the people, I don't want to say they, because I can't think of the name right now, but the people on them that give the news and all that are saying this, that we've lost our allies. There's ships, the people at the shipyard are saying ships are coming in like 38% less shipment, and the tariffs kick in this week, and the things that are going to happen. Is one thing to hear them say that, but then I'm giving you information from someone who is in the industry, who is in the grocery store at least 5 days a week, and their shipments are coming in shorter, and they're running out of things during the day. So go stock up, get you some non-perishables. I went to Costco. I got a lot of tuna. I got the 25-pound bag of beans. That's what was suggested when I was reading on things to get, and a 25-pound bag of dry rice, and it's really smaller than a bag of dog food. I got some oatmeal, a big bag of the Kirkland brand oatmeal. These are non-perishable items. I did get eggs and things like that too, but if something goes down and there's nothing on the shelf, we know how to eat that every day, even if we don't want to. But I'm just trying to tell you guys, I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to give you guys the information. So please listen and go to the store tomorrow. Alrighty? Praying for us all.
When I just spent $300 on 5 items of grocery, and the cashier said, would you like to donate? Ma'am, unless it's me and my kid's name that's on that paperwork, no. In what world do y'all believe that we have enough money to just donate? Like, that's like a crazy way of thinking. And then I found out that those organizations that they get the money for, they only get 10% of the money. So let's say you gave $1, they only give 10 cents to them. So why would I give you my money to keep inside of Walmart? And it's like the world biggest scam, and then they look at you like, would you like to donate to St. Jude's? And then you look like a piece of shit because you're like, oh man, y'all done brought in the kids and cancer in the same sentence. Shit, yeah, put $2 on there, I guess. And girl, you see me swiping a food stamp card. You see me swiping a food stamp card. And unless them $2 can come with this food stamp card, I can't help you. You're telling me I'm helping hungry kids. I got 2 hungry kids in the buggy. I know you see them. You could tell the cashiers don't be wanting to say it, but the job make them. Whatever store you're in, it makes them say that. Them people don't want to ask you for that money. That's why I just no thank you.
How are we doing? Went to the grocery store. Let me show you what I got. It was just a quick run. Trash bags, a few command strips, only 2 pre-made food things, and 2 little Easter basket type things that I'm gonna put in. Little magnets. That's it. That's all I got. $121. How are we doing?
When I just spent $300 on 5 items of grocery, and
I want to show you guys my new addiction. Have you guys heard of the auction app? I just got back from the grocery store, and honestly, thank God I don't go to the grocery store much because I get a lot of my food from a farm. But I don't know how y'all with big families buy food. It is crazy. I'm going to show you what I bought. Guess how much this cost. I literally bought barely anything. Creamer. Okay, these were buy one, get one. So I didn't even pay for that one. Alright. Yeah, I had to have some chicken wings, and I'll even show you the price to give you a little help. Alright. Yes, I buy organic meat. Can't stand the stuff that looks like red spaghetti. Alright, so there's 4 things. Butter. Spaghetti. This was buy one, get one, so didn't even pay for that. And then, my bad thing. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 products. 8 products. Look at that crazy price. $51 for 8 items. I need to start growing my own garden, I think.
Who are these people that are affording groceries, going to the grocery store every
I just got back.
Who are these people that are affording groceries, going to the grocery store every week, spending $300, $400 a week, and they're just like, whatever. It's cool. It's pocket change. Seriously, not me. Family of 5. I have little children. Little. They're 12, 10, and 5. I don't even have teens living in my house yet. And I'm just like, just went to Market Basket, spent $338, family of 5. That's pretty good, honestly. Only got $20 of non-food stuff, and the only meat I got was sausage, like turkey sausage links, and chicken. Like for the week, not a lot of chicken. And I'm just like, what? How are we doing it? How are you affording groceries? How are we doing this? I remember being a teen and going to my friend's house, or people going to my house, and we would just like eat all the strawberries, all the chips, drink all the orange juice in one day. I wonder if my parents and their parents were like wanting to like wring our necks at that point, because they're like, that is expensive. You just saved $25 in fruit. Obviously it wasn't $25 then, but you get the point. Are you affording groceries comfortably? Should I get a second job? Should I work more? I don't know.
Hey, it's me, Min. I live in Hawaii. I have a master's degree, several teaching certificates, have been in sales and education for over 25 years. I've also done retail on and off since I was 15. Retail goes in cycles. Stores shop 6 months in advance. Stores right now are planning their back to school and fall orders and shipments, designs, whatever. The birds overhead. This is not to panic, but to prepare. I live in Hawaii, and we have a first row seat to the empty shipping containers that are coming to the west coast of America. Think of all the things you get: deodorant, pet food, toothbrushes, toilet cleaner, toilet brushes, toilet paper, anything in a plastic container, anything with a metal attachment, anything electronic, anything in a can. All of this shiz comes from China. But no more. The shipping containers are empty. All the ports are sitting empty. All the truckers are getting laid off because there's no more trucking shipments, because no more shipments are coming in, because tariffs have doubled, tripled, quadrupled prices across the board. Think back to school. Right now is when these things should be getting into the stores for them to start preparing their back to school supplies. So anything that you want to buy that you could foresee yourself or your family needing anytime during the next 6 months or so, go buy it now. I'm not talking panic hoarding like 2020. I'm talking about go and buy enough toothbrushes for the year. Buy enough toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, razors, pet food, kitchen scrubbers, soap for the whole year. Just put it on a credit card, buy everything you need, restock for the whole year. TP2 or switch over to a bidet. Canned fruits, veggies, and proteins as well, and a giant sack of rice, and a giant sack of beans, and a giant sack of oats, and a giant sack of lentils. And then get your garden started and relax. And then you don't have to deal with the empty shelves in the grocery store or in the big box store when all the shortages will become really visible in the next few weeks. Don't panic, just prepare. Hey, it's me, Min. I live in Hawaii. I have a master's degree, several teaching certificates.
These are the items that will most likely be affected by the tariffs and empty shelves. It's not likely going to be the same thing as COVID where we run out of toilet paper. But if we do, it's going to be for the same reason, buyer panic. So they're going to hoard things faster than that the suppliers can supply it. A lot of paper products are made domestically. Same thing with things like dog food, cereal, corn syrup. So you're not going to have to worry about those so much. But again, buyer panic. The things that are most likely going to be affected are things like consumer electronics, cell phones, car parts, vehicles, because even though it might be assembled in the United States, a lot of things are brought in, aluminum, steel, parts that go into the components of the thing, which will make it much more expensive and much harder to get, or not at all, and whatever inventory is left is all we have. Things like building supplies come from a lot of places, because what kind of trees do we have here that isn't in a national park? It's already gone. It comes from other parts of the world, and if those ships stop shipping them, we don't have lumber anymore. So things like building supplies, furniture, all of that's going to be affected. A lot of the fast fashion and inexpensive fashion comes from China. So a lot of the cheap things you might get at Walmart or inexpensive clothing stores, all of those are going to they're going to get hit hard. Seasonal items are also produced in the same way like fast fashion. It's quick turnaround. So 4th of July, any holiday items, a lot of those things are manufactured in bulk and brought into the United States in shipping containers. Those will get hit hard too. A large quantity of the toys that you see in your toy section are produced again in China. So all of that will be affected as well. A lot of generic drugs and pharmaceuticals are also going to be affected. So over-the-counter generics, things like Band-Aids, a lot of those things are produced in mass. So again, anything that's very inexpensive is going to get much more expensive. The last thing is food items. Anything that is not seasonal. So there is a apple season, there is an orange season, but we get it year round because we are bringing it in from other countries that are in the opposite hemisphere. So when it's summer here or spring here, it's winter there. When it is ungrowable here, it will grow there and we ship it in. So those will be heavily affected by the lack of shipping. These are the items that will most likely be affected by the tariffs and empty shelves. It's not likely going to be the
Here's a list off the top of my head of foods to stock up on before tariffs in no particular order and without an explanation, because we don't have time for that. And without an explanation isn't inviting MAGA to argue with me in the comments, because I have a reason for each, so don't start. Orange juice, specifically the frozen concentrate one. Canned tomatoes and tomato sauce. Bananas, you can buy them, wait for them to ripen, cut them up, freeze them, put them in a bag. For vanilla or vanilla extract, cinnamon, chocolate or baking cocoa, lime and lemon juice. Canned and dried pineapple, mangoes, strawberries, or strawberry pie filling. Parmesan cheese, brie and Gouda. Cereal that is made from oats or oats in general. Garlic or garlic. Maple syrup, the real kind. I'm gonna say sugar just to be safe. Surprisingly, apple juice and honey. Or go buy some local. Olive oil. Remember, oil does go rancid, so not too much. Check out my page for more prepping tips and a little bit more of a deeper dive into why we're stocking up on these items.
So the supply chain disruptions are going to be felt on supermarket shelves between mid-May and late May. Here is an updated list of things you need to stock up on so that you're not impacted by shortages on shelves. And as a reminder, we don't panic buy. We just buy a little bit extra. We don't buy everything off the shelves, okay? This is going to be an ADHD friendly version. There's just going to be lists. Okay? let's get to it. So for food, canned vegetables and fruits, dry staples, flour and sugar, fresh produce, if you can cut these up, you can can them, all of that. Seafood, specialty oils, take a screenshot. For beverages, bottled water and shelf-stable milk alternatives, coffees and teas, alcoholic beverages if you partake, specialty teas and coffees, take a screenshot. Parental needs, diapers and wipes, baby food and formula, specialty baby formulas, baby gear, take a screenshot. Clothing, basic apparel, footwear and outerwear, children's clothing, take a screenshot. Electronics, basic appliances if you need, consumer electronics, smartphones, laptops, tablets, gaming consoles and accessories if your kid needs them, wants them, take a screenshot. Pet supplies, pet food and litter, specialty pet foods and medications, take a screenshot. First aid and medical, over-the-counter medications and first aid supplies, prescription medications and medical devices if you so need, take a screenshot. Home goods and housewares if you so need, cleaning supplies and paper products, basic furniture, kitchen appliances and cookware, home decor items, take a screenshot. Emergency preparedness kit, specifically for people in wildfires and tornado alleys and hurricane areas. Flashlights, batteries, radios, non-perishable food kits and water purification tablets. Solar-powered chargers and portable generators if you are able to get them. Take a screenshot. Last but not least, miscellaneous category. Any domestic goods like stationery, office supplies, and basic tools. Gardening supplies, especially if you are starting to grow your own food, such as tomatoes in your backyard or strawberries or things like that. If you're starting to garden, get your supplies now. Get your seeds, get your dirt, all of that. Imported goods, toys, and games. This is going to be an issue come holiday time if you have children. Seasonal decorations and hobby items. Again, these are a luxury, not a necessity, but in case you need, take a screenshot. Also something to note, if you have children going to school in the fall, try and stock up on some school supplies. Those are expected to increase in prices in the next couple of months. Try and buy a little bit now. Now the rest of this video is going to be about some sources because everyone's been asking me for them. So if you are no longer interested in that, you can skedaddle. Save this video, like this video, share it with your friends if you thought it was informative. Thank you so much. Okay, so now that I'm no longer talking in my ADHD voice and being very strict and to the point, this is basically an article from a report based by Apollo Global Management saying that goods are going to be impacted and shelves are going to be impacted by the middle of May. U.S. container ships to U.S. ports will come to a stop, and by late May, consumers will start to see empty shelves. So that's your timeline for this. You've got about till Memorial Day to get your stuff in order. Now, again, this could change. It depends on what's going on with the Trump tariffs, because everything is so volatile. It could definitely change, and honestly, we want this to change. We don't want anyone to suffer for this, but they are predicting pandemic-like shortages if nothing were to change. Now, again, it's not necessarily imminent that we're going to have shortages. It's just a prediction, and they're saying that it could be starting the end of May, but Robert Hanfield from the North Carolina State University says it could be a month or two. So you could see it by the end of May, you could see it by the end of June. But again, if things do change, shortages aren't necessarily imminent. So be prepared, but don't go crazy. We don't panic buy here, right? We just buy what we need, we buy a little extra. Now again, Walmart and Target have spoken with President Trump, and they've said that they're going to be starting to run out of inventory mid-May. Now for all those in my comments saying that the ports aren't empty, multiple outlets are reporting empty ports. That's just a fact, unfortunately. So Torsten Slok, who is a chief economist, he's the one that did the Apollo Management report. He's an expert economist. I've been following him for a while. He's where I got my information the first time. He said that there's
possibly COVID-like shortages and significant layoffs in industries spanning trucking, logistics, and detail. We've already seen a trucking company lay off about 18 of their truckers because there's just not enough supply to move. So something to keep in mind is it's not just the shelves that are going to be empty, people are going to be losing their jobs as well. And so another economist has said that while it looks like a COVID shortage and a COVID supply chain disruption, that was shock, that was quick, it bounced back relatively quickly. However, because this is self-made, unfortunately, and self-imposed by the President of the United States, and could go on longer and longer and longer because we've got 3.5 more years of his presidency, this could be more treacherous because the longer it goes, the more catastrophic this is. So he's saying that the lingering effects could be worse. However, the good news is that the solution can come much, much faster if Donald Trump just listens to economists and doesn't put people at risk. So here's some sources. Here's some economists that I've been listening to. Do your own research if you don't believe me. I'm not an economist. I just listen to experts. But here's your updated list. Here's your updated supplies. Yeah. Also, for all those in my comments saying we don't import food from China, we import food from a lot of other countries, and we're currently at trade wars with like almost every country. So we import over $220 billion worth of food every single year. A lot of that is fresh produce, and we import a lot of beef actually for the amount of cows that we raise here on factory farms. We do import a lot of beef, but we import a lot of fruits and vegetables and a lot of dairy products especially from Canada, fruits and vegetables from Mexico. So we import a lot of food, unfortunately. So, and when those imports are gone, the American versions or the American supply that's left over is going to increase in price and not necessarily be affordable. So keep that in mind as, you're in my comments saying these things. So also, you can't comment on my hair dye because I literally had a hair appointment yesterday. So,
well, let's continue tomorrow watching the Circus of America. Okay, everyone. Bye.
Don't forget to follow.